everybody, welcome back to the Retro Lair. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on our G.I. Joes. We were able to pick up a few in an auction this week, so we're actually able to find one that I've been looking for quite a while. Hey guys, welcome back. If you've made it this far in the video, before we get into the haul, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you know when we post our next video. Doing a lot of toy hunts, some reviews will be coming, and really just some collection updates, whether it's TMNT, G.I. Joe. Alright guys, let's get into the first thing that we picked up this week. I did participate in an auction here recently on Facebook. It's been kind of difficult for me to get out and about and really hit up some places that aren't necessarily the same ones that we're always going to. So I've kind of taken to some auctions just to kind of see what other people have to offer. And I got into a G.I. Joe auction the other night and came across some really good deals that we couldn't really pass up to work on building the collection. So first thing we picked up was the G.I. Joe twins, Tomax, and I'm going to butcher the other name, Zaymot. I may have said it wrong, but basically these twins are, for any G.I. Joe fans out there, they know the twins are exactly identical. Just they're basically a mirror image of each other. So we picked those two figures up. They are complete. I got both. Let's see if I can get them out of my hands here. Got both of their pew-pews. And then they've also got their little zip line thing. The only thing it was missing was, of course, the zip line strand, which I'm sure if anyone's got any of those that are original, that's impressive. And then it also came with the file card, which I've been getting into the file cards. I kind of enjoy them. So, alright, so one of the other figures that came across in the auction, my buddy Matt actually just recently picked this figure up. And as soon as he told me he was looking for it, I looked to see what it looked like complete, of course, which I think he should have a vehicle also, which I'm pretty sure Matt has him complete with his vehicle and everything, but I just thought this guy was cool. So the way he looked, the gun, everything. So I went ahead and came across it in the auction at a good price. I went ahead and picked it up. Had to replace the O-ring, but I picked up Darklon with his weapon. Another bad guy that pretty sure he chills out with Destro, so I'll have to work on getting him up on the shelf. So Darklon was a pretty fun one to find and pick up. I've been looking for him off and on ever since Matt found one. But he's kind of hard to find with a gun, from what I've realized. I mean, I could find him online pretty easy, but that's not as, it's just more fun finding things in a store. Alright, the next thing that we ended up grabbing in the auction, pretty cheap. I feel like it was pretty cheap for the price of him, but I didn't have him, so actually I do have him, but I only have the mail-away version of Sergeant Slaughter. So I was able to pick up a Sergeant Slaughter, which if anyone remembers who Sergeant Slaughter is in the G.I. Joe cartoon, of course he also a wrestling figure in the 80s, early 90s. Just a cool figure to have. So he's pretty clean. I was able to pick him up. Move his hands here. His crotch is not busted. All these figures are good. But when I went to pick this stuff up in the store after the auction, I was just kind of looking around, and I noticed that they had the Triple T complete. So got a pretty decent price on this. I wasn't planning on buying any more vehicles, because the next vehicle that I would like to get will either be the Whale or Wild Bill's Dragonfly helicopter. So those are the two I'm on the lookout for, but this was a smaller vehicle, a good price, so I went ahead and picked it up also. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space, so I can just store this on the shelf. So I can get him situated here. Can drop him down in there, and I can just store that on the shelf, which will look pretty good. So it's got both missiles on the sides. It's got both guns here. The peg right here, I think, is usually broke off, and this one right here I've noticed has been broke off, which this just pops off so you can see down in the engine bay. See if I can make sure he stays in there. So you can see down in there, and that pops back on. So was excited to get this as clean as it is and complete. And it does have these wheels on the bottom so that it roll, but the tracks are adjustable, so they drop down and you can't even tell. So it's pretty cool piece to pick up. Pretty excited about that. Guys, if you like what you're seeing so far and you enjoy the G.I. Joes and any other things that we're picking up, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're posting our next video. But in the meantime, let's get back to things I was able to grab this week. Actually, Matt picked it up in an auction, I think a week or so ago. He ended up picking up a Sky Striker to put on his flag, but he came across a Shipwreck. And for anyone who knows Shipwreck, he's usually very discolored and hard to find from what we've seen around here, because this hook right there on the side of his pants is usually broke and missing. This one does have one little spot, you can kind of see it in the light, where it's got some wear on it, but the hook is intact. His legs are kind of loose, but for me, I mean, he'll stand, and we'll throw him in the collection. But Matt was able to pick him up for me with the card back, so pretty excited to add Shipwreck. He's a key member of the Joes. So. All right, guys, the last thing that I was able to pick up in that auction, I've been looking for one of these complete for a while. I like the way they look. I came across one probably 2 weeks ago in the wild, but he didn't have his backpack, he didn't have anything, no weapon, and I was going to have to put him together. I elected to pass on it. I actually had it in my hand and was talking to Matt about it, like, what do you think? Should I grab it? Should I wait? I decided to go ahead and wait. I did the same thing with a Shockwave. I'm trying to find one of those complete. But this figure, I seen it months ago and just thought it was one of the coolest figures. I did not have it as a kid, but luckily I came across it in this auction, 100% complete. And to find one of these complete in this decent of condition is, in my opinion, very hard to find, because there's so many little pieces on here that are typically broke and missing. So I was able to pick up a Night Viper. Complete. This figure is awesome. I'm so excited that I was able to pick it up, so I can now throw it into the collection with all my other Cobra Misfits. But this thing is cool, and the reason it's so hard to complete this guy, I try to scoot up here, is this piece right here actually slides down over onto a peg right here, and that's typically broke off inside this, and this is missing. So then your visor's no good. Another thing that I noticed while I was picking these up is the visor clips on to 2 pegs on the side of his head here, and those pegs are usually broke. Luckily, this one I was able to change out and make work. And then for the weapon, with them trying to see what other ways that they can utilize storage or the ability for the Joes to hold things, there's 2 pegs on the side right here that his weapon is actually attached to. And those pegs are usually broke off. So for me, this was super exciting to pick up a complete Night Viper. So I will get him put up on the shelf and probably not touch him, because I don't want him to break. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me going over this week's haul. Looking forward to getting out and trying to find a few more things. Try to bring some different stuff to the channel. Some toy reviews on some G.I. Joe classifieds coming up. Hopefully a big video coming up on Matt's recent USS flag pickup. That was a big day for him. So hit that notification bell, subscribe, like the video, so you know when we're going to post our next one. So in the meantime, thank you guys. Talk to you later.